Previously on Jack and Bobby.
Grace.
I was hoping that you and I could come to some understanding.
Unless you plan to end this affair immediately, I have an obligation to this department and the university to report this.
It's Courtney. She's seeing someone 2 years older. A few days ago, she requested emergency contraceptives. It won't happen again.
What's that supposed to mean?
You're not going to see him again. Call him and tell him.
A pack of animals attacked you for no reason.
I could have run.
Yeah, you were scared.
Get his wallet.
Call the cops again?
No, I didn't. I was just following up.
They're not going to find the guys who jumped me.
Starting a new business sucks. We should just go back to my house and play X-Men. You're the one who said if we're gonna be millionaires by 18, we have to start now. That's before I lost feeling in my face. Come on, just one more block, please. Dude, one more. Come on, Bobby. One more. Bobby, come on.
Nipples, Sneezy, back. Get no, shoot. Nipples. Yes.
Hi, I am Bobby McCallister, and this is Warren Five.
Of McCallister and Five. And I know what you're thinking, but no, we're not lawyers.
What are you then?
We do odd jobs and basically
anything.
Yeah.
Really, anything you want.
Yeah.
My no-good godson, Timmy, has been storing his boxes in here for 6 months. I've asked him time and time again to come clean them up, but he knows this is my kitty's playpen. Isn't that right, Percival? Well, yeah, there are all the boxes. Now, if you dears would just take them down to the end of the driveway, the trash man comes tomorrow.
All right, no problem.
Oh, I'll check back in an hour or so.
Gosh, you could have mentioned the smell before she negotiated you down to $15.
Just think of the yacht you're going to buy when we take this company public.
Yeah, her godson's gonna be ticked that she's throwing all of his stuff away.
Not our problem. We're subcontractors.
You're supposed to hold the bottom. Ugh.
Like I'm supposed to know. Cool. Timmy's a perv.
Help me clean up, okay? Or else we're never gonna get out of here.
Whoa. Check it out. Wallets. Maybe there's money in it.
If there is, then they're stolen. So we have to return them. Easy.
I mean, we can at least ask for a reward or something. Bobby?
Yeah, what's up?
Isn't that Jack's learner's permit?
This is Jack's wallet.
But didn't those guys take it when they beat him up?
At first, the whole thing seemed preposterous, like some kind of bad joke. When we got word that the Finnish police were detaining former President Adler, we thought it must be a mistake. But when the images of Adler being escorted from the airport in handcuffs began streaming across the weblets, it became painfully real. The Finnish government had just arrested a former president of the United States for war crimes.
December 7, 1941. Ask not what your country can do for you.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
We are caught at war wanting peace.
An ever-expanding American dream.
We must go forward as one nation.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
I understand. We'll just talk about that. Come in.
Hey, you wanted to see me? Oh. Hello, Roger.
Grace?
Grace, this is terribly awkward. I don't know how to ask this without simply asking, are you having an affair with Tom Wexler?
Affair implies an inherent wrongdoing. I am engaged in a personal relationship with Tom Wexler.
She isn't even denying it. A senior, tenured professor and her own grad student.
Roger, can we try?
On the heels of the Felts think this department will be a joke.
Spare the holier-than-thou for someone who doesn't remember you married your own TA.
The course had ended. Mary Ellen wasn't even working under me.
No, she was just under you.
Grace!
As chair, what do you plan to do about this?
Roger, I'd like to speak to Professor McCallister privately, please.
For the sake of the department, I hope the situation is dealt with in an appropriate manner.
I can assure you that it will be.
This isn't something I planned, Merle. It just happened.
Please.
It just happened.
Back in my day, it was... Well, suffice to say, I shan't be casting too many stones. The timing is unfortunate. However, so close on the heels of this Phelps debacle.
Oh, my God. Stephen was molesting a 19-year-old undergrad. Tom and I are adults in a consensual relationship.
Grace, you know as well as I do, the university policy strictly forbids this type of professor-student romance. It is considered not just taboo, God, it's almost a crime.
Oh, God, a crime. If it's a crime, it's a victimless crime. And why should people...
No, Grace, we will all be the victims. Roger is a pompous ass, but he's right about one thing. A scandal of this sort will besmirch not only your own reputation, but that of the entire department. But that's why he'll also agree to keep it in the family.
What do you mean?
Of course, we will need assurances that the liaison has ended.
I don't think you understand, Merle. This isn't just some meaningless fling.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
What up?
It was right there in her garage, and yours wasn't the only one.
I don't believe it.
Oh, yeah, and, Warren and I found this. His name is Timothy Swain. He works over at the hardware store. So, do you want to call Mom at work, or do you want to call the police first? Who's that officer again?
Officer Burke. He goes to our church.
Yeah, let's call him.
Just chill a second, okay?
Set orders up.
Maybe we should find out if he still works there.
Why?
I don't want to accuse the guy and have it turn out to be a mistake.
Weren't the guys who jumped you wearing masks?
Yeah, but...
How would you recognize him?
I don't know, it's just...
Jack, getting backed up here.
Look, you should really just call the police.
We will. I just want to see who this guy is first. It'll be all right. We'll call Officer Burke right after, I promise.
That wasn't a secret knock.
I know, it was testing you. It could have been my dad. What would you have said then?
Oops.
Oops. No, seriously, if my dad finds out that we're seeing each other again...
I'll remember next time.
Yeah, no, yeah, you better. Here. I should warn you, though. My dad was with me when I rented them, and he thinks I'm watching them with Missy, so they're,
Chick flicks. I guess we'll have a 3 hanky night.
Where are you going?
Oh, we use our Xbox as our DVD player, but since my roommate got so addicted to Madden, he flunked bio, now we keep it in the closet. Yeah.
Hey, how come you didn't tell me that your fraternity was hosting a formal?
Because we can't go. It's a public event. I mean, people would see us together, which means that your father and his network of spies might catch wind. I'm just following your lead here.
I know, I just, I mean, how are we ever gonna work out if we can't even go out?
Well, going out is so overrated. Besides, this whole clandestine affair is kind of kinky.
Stop it. We have movies. Nate!
Can I get a vote? Huh? Because I say the policy sucks.
I'm not sure that'll fly as our defense.
Any policy that likens an adult consensual relationship to sexual harassment or pedophilia is based on flawed reasoning. You know? I mean, it's supposed to be a university. Like the bastion of intellectual thought. I mean, what bonehead came up with that?
Well, actually, I helped redraft the policy.
You did?
Yeah. I know. But after Stephen molested those girls, we were all desperate to ensure that nothing like that would ever happen again.
Well, I'm not a helpless undergrad who's falling prey to something.
The assumption is the abuse in a professor-student relationship is inherent.
Well, the rule's wrong, Grace. I mean, it doesn't take into account the idiosyncrasies of human nature. The fact that sometimes people just, they just fall for each other.
Well, is that what happened here?
Isn't it? I'm pretty crazy about you, Grace. I don't know. I mean, if you don't feel the same way, this is all a moot point if you want this to be over. You want this to be over?
Well, do you?
No, I don't.
Well, neither do I.
Well, then the rest is academic, isn't it? Come on. Oh, come on, relationships like this are as old as college campuses. I mean, maybe it's frowned upon, but do people ever really get in trouble for it?
I don't know. I don't. With this renewed policy and changing moral climate, things could really get ugly.
Well, we're gonna deal with it together, whatever it is. Okay? Okay? Okay.
Sure you want to do this?
Let's just get it over with.
That him?
Maybe.
You're lucky he didn't kill you.
Can I help you?
Here's wallet.
There's something I can help you with? Nails. Looking for nails?
Check lumber, aisle 3. This is plumbing.
What is it?
I gotta get out of here. Let's go.
You're joking.
I hate to disappoint you, but no. Tom and I have discussed your offer at length, and we have decided that we must respectfully decline.
She's lost her mind.
Really, had Larry Archer lost his mind when he left his wife for Gretchen Myatt? The university didn't seem to think so. In fact, the university awarded him the Whitfield Chair.
She wasn't his student.
Damn close. Same department, same area of study.
Grace, please be reasonable. The university policy
Was designed to protect students against exploitation and coercion, and none of that is happening.
You helped write it. How can you be so myopic? Yeah, I always knew you were a hypocrite, but I never took you for...
Fine, I'm a hypocrite. But my God, is anyone even claiming that I have abused my position? Talk to Tom. He's the alleged victim here, right? So talk to him. And if you still suspect any wrongdoing on my part, I will willingly submit to any administrative adjustments that you care to make.
Roger, if there truly isn't any complaint...
I'm complaining. And if, as chair of the department, you are unwilling to enforce university policy, I'm sorry. You leave me no other recourse than to alert the administration myself.
Roger, think we're all in the same boat.
No, Merle, respectfully, we are not.
They probably thought they'd just get away with it. I mean, I did. I totally given up hope we'd actually find him.
It's been like 3 months.
A little over.
So you went looking for him at the hardware store where he works?
Well, we only went there to see if I'd recognize him.
You know, I can't imagine Joe signing off on that idea, Marcus.
We were in a public place.
The point is, I did recognize him.
His voice.
So are you gonna arrest him?
Yeah, we could arrest him. Now, us being able to hold him is another thing.
What do you mean?
You recognized his voice, not the man. That's not the most solid ID. Plus, it's not like your brother found the wallet on the guy.
And it was in his godmother's garage.
Guys, I'm just saying, any half-decent lawyer is going to shoot enough holes in that to get him released. And then what do you think he's going to do next?
What, do you think he might come after me?
Look, we'd take steps to ensure that it wouldn't happen.
This is seriously messed up.
Even if I decide it's worth all that to press charges, you're saying he just might get off anyway?
I got to be realistic with you guys. As a police officer, I think you have a civic duty to pursue this.
But if you were me?
I think long and hard about whether moving on with my life wasn't my best option.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I come bearing gifts.
That's hot. It's a bit small for me, but thanks anyways.
For me, for your formal.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm just a bit confused. Did your dad call off the Secret Service?
No, I decided to tell him about us.
What?
the sneaking around behind his back thing just kind of makes me feel worse. I mean, what can he do to me, really? Lock me in a tower and make guys climb up my hair?
You know PSU has a tower.
Like, it's your first formal. It's a big deal for you, right?
Well, except I'm not gonna go.
What?
Well, I procrastinated on this comp lit paper, and the professor's really strict about the deadlines, and unless I want to kiss my scholarship goodbye.
Oh.
Well, hey, I don't have to show you off in public. I mean, I'm perfectly happy keeping you all to myself. But if you'd still like to try this dress on, my roommate doesn't get home for another hour.
I didn't lie. I chose to keep my private life private, that's all.
Really? You don't recall standing on the spot telling me you were seeing someone, but I didn't know who it was? I know Tom Wexler. I know him well.
You're right. Fine. I'm sorry,
Now,
okay?
you know what I'm required to do? Convene an ethics committee. Call our lawyers, our liability insurers, our board. What were you thinking? Were you thinking anything at all?
I'm sorry I have put you in this position, Peter.
You
I
didn't put
really
me in the
am.
position you put yourself in. You're facing suspension, or worse.
But there's been no abuse of any kind.
It's not the issue. You knowingly violated university policy.
Well, any policy is wrong if it violates the rights of our personal freedoms. And what could be more fundamental to our freedom than our ability to choose our mate?
Our mate?
Okay, I didn't mean that. I'm just trying to make a point here. Look, Tom and I are confident that any committee of reasonable people will see that we complied with the spirit, if not the letter, of the policy. I was hoping that you...
we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah. Guess we will.
Tomorrow at 9, then.
Yeah, tomorrow at 9.
I hope he was worth it.
Hey, Pop.
Hey, man.
Jack. What's up? Hey, Dad, can Jack and I talk for a minute?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Jack, leave your tips here on the counter.
Thanks, Mr. Wright.
So you decide?
Nothing to decide. You heard the guy. They probably wouldn't even prosecute.
Wait, no. Talk to your mom. She'll make them. She practically is a prosecutor.
What's the point? This guy puts 2 and 2 together and figures out it was Bobby who found the wallet. Then he and his friends can come after not only me, but my kid brother. No thanks.
So you're just gonna do nothing? Look, what about the next guy who gets the crap kicked out of him?
I never said I was gonna do nothing.
Hang on.
Hey, Marcus, can you give me a hand here?
Yeah. Give me a second, Pop. What are we talking about here?
I'm gonna go talk to him. You were right. If I don't do something, who's gonna get hurt next?
Jack,
I'm just gonna talk to him. If he doesn't want to talk, that's his problem.
Going after this guy on your own?
It's kind of hoping I wouldn't have to.
I don't know, man. What if his friends are there?
We bail. Call the thing off.
You're gonna do this thing with or without me, aren't you?
Kinda have to.
All right. I'm in.
Hey, why didn't you wake me up when you got home last night?
Because you're less annoying when you're asleep.
Did he call the police? Come on, Jack. I'm the one who found the wallet.
Marcus and I went down to the station.
So what happened? Are they gonna arrest him?
Jack, you're responsible for dinner tonight. I've got a committee presentation that's gonna run long, so I'll be late.
You know, I can't. I gotta work.
What do you mean, Tuesday?
Yeah, Marcus's mom got sick or something.
Okay, Bobby, you can nuke the leftover Kung Pao, or there's cheese and pepperoni pizza in the freezer. Okay. Guys, I love you both more than anything in the whole world. I just really wanted to tell you that. Okay.
weird.
So, what happened? Are they gonna arrest him?
I told him everything. His name, address, how you found the wallet. Look, you did great, Bobby. Everything's gonna be taken care of.
University policy on this matter specifically provides that any romantic relationship arising between a faculty and student, regardless of consent, is per se
In violation of university guidelines. Yes, I'm aware of that clause, and I believe I understand its meaning.
I realize that you guys have to take this seriously because of the liability issues and whatnot, but did I feel coerced? No way. I felt flattered. Besides which, I was the one who asked her out in the first place.
No, I haven't reassigned Tom to another thesis advisor because, frankly, I'm the best and most qualified advisor available to him.
I think it's safe to say that Professor McCallister's academic objectivity is intact.
Yeah, well, I have a right to be angry. This policy is supposed to be gender blind, but its implementation is blatantly sexist.
Well, it's kind of ironic, really. I mean, didn't the whole banning movement begin because middle-aged female professors were getting ticked off at all the middle-aged male professors for hitting on co-eds instead of on them?
I have dedicated my life to my 2 boys, my students, and this university. I never thought it was possible that I could develop feelings of romantic affection for someone again, but I did. I did. Now, have I violated the policy in letter? Yes. Have I violated it in spirit? No. None of the things that this policy was designed to prevent has occurred here.
Excuse me? I'm not sure if this is an okay time for me to say anything, or am I allowed to just... I just wanted to say that I was in your radical feminism course 2 semesters ago, Professor. I registered for the class because all my friends were telling me how much they loved it, but also because they kept going on and on about you. How great you were as a professor and how much they looked up to you. And they were totally right. I mean, you rock. I just think you are such an amazing, amazing professor and a role model for lots of the girls here at PSU, myself included.
Thank you.
No, I mean, I think that's why now I feel so disappointed.
Oh, sorry. The wrong floor.
Oh, Nate said I could borrow this. I hope it's cool.
Yeah, sure. It's fine with me.
I'm Geza. Nate's RA.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Courtney. I'm a friend of Nate's. I'm just bringing him some muffins of inspiration.
They look delicious, but Nate and Jordan aren't home right now, so I kind of can't let you in. Yeah, I can take them for you, though, and I'll give them to him.
Nate's not... Oh, did he go to the library or something?
Not unless they've got a new dress code. He was wearing a tux.
A tux?
Yeah, there's a formal tonight. One of the frats is having its initiation ball.
Hey.
Hey, Bobby. Hey, Jack here?
Yeah, he's upstairs getting changed to work. How's your mom feeling?
My mom? She's fine. Why?
She's sick, right?
Hey.
Hey, we cruised the place. He gets off at 9.
I thought you had to cover for Marcus.
Yeah, well, it was some weird stomach thing, and his mom got better suddenly.
They're the guys.
Okay, go wait in the car. I'll be out in a sec.
You lied to me. You didn't go to the police. You're going after the guy yourself.
I did go to the police, Bobby, but they said they couldn't do anything.
What do you mean? Why not?
They just couldn't.
So tell Mom. She'll make them do something.
No, she won't. She can't. No one can. Do you get that? He just gets away with it.
I would have never told you about your wallet if I knew that this is what you were gonna do. Please don't make me.
Go ahead, call her. She can be mad at me when I get home. By then it'll be over.
I will call the hardware store. I'll warn them. I'll tell them not to go outside.
Don't even think about it.
Think about what?
Nothing. Come on.
You know what? Maybe Mini-Man's got a point.
What?
Maybe we should just chill for a few days. You know, before we do something we can't undo.
Way to have my back, Marcus. The guy ruined my life.
I am watching out for you, man. Wait, where are you going?
Nowhere, apparently.
Thanks, Marcus.
Well, that was excruciating. Well, at least now we can lecture about the Spanish Inquisition from personal experience. Oh, God. Aren't you relieved it's over? It's over.
Not usually, no.
Why? What?
Nothing.
What? Did they, I mean, was there some sort of follow-up or something?
No, it's just they commented on my thesis at the end about starting over. They mention anything to you about it?
No, just some pointed questions about my objectivity. But no.
One of the professors in the group, Greaves from Anthro, suggested that my work was tainted, that I might have to start over.
No, he didn't say anything to me about it, but you know what? I'm not surprised. No, I just mean you have to have considered the possibility, right?
What?
Well, once our relationship became public, that you might have a little damage control to do.
Sure, but I just don't think I need to start over. I mean, there was nothing tainted about the work I've done. There was a huge amount of preliminary research.
I understand, but Tom, if you suspect that the PhD review committee has become negatively disposed towards your topic, it would behoove you, I
You're
think.
talking about scrapping my thesis.
Starting over is not the end of the world.
Not for you, maybe.
Oh, really? Not for me? You do understand that I may never gain back the standing I had at this university or nationally.
Yeah, well,
that I may never achieve certain things in my career solely because I chose you. Now, is it the end of the world to me? No. But it's a hell of a loss. It's a hell of a lot more of a loss than, what, 6 months of research and a couple of chapters? But it was a loss that I was willing to accept in exchange for, well, something that I may be finding out was merely a dalliance as far as you're concerned. Then how is it that we just walked through fire together? The fact that our relationship seems to have survived is secondary to 60 pages of first draft material about Superman.
Think what you want about my thesis, okay? It's important to me. And I told you that.
Oh, my God. It never dawned on you that it actually might cost you something too, did it? And here I am, thinking that you were choosing to risk it all for me. How pathetically romantic. Oh, my God.
Grace, please don't go. I'm sorry. I just got caught up. I'm sorry. Okay, look at me. I was just caught up in my own stuff for a second. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. We're just letting them get to us, okay? We can't let them do that. I have wagered everything. And I'd risk everything for you, too. Come on, you know that.
Finland's Prime Minister, Henrik Fransson, had spoken out strongly against the War of the Americas, but of course, in the first half of the 21st century, we had pursued a vigorous doctrine of unilateralism, and it would have taken a much larger country than Finland to have made an impact. It seemed sort of almost funny at the time. At the war's end, Franzen publicly stated that Adler was not welcome in Finland, and he would set foot on their soil at his own risk.
Courtney.
Are you insane if my dad sees you?
He didn't, I swear. I hid until his car went around the block.
Okay, that's not creepy or anything.
I got your muffins.
I hope they helped. I know how hard it must have been to write a term paper out of formal.
Please, I froze out here for an hour just so I could explain what happened.
I'm gonna miss my bus.
Look, I wasn't gonna go at first, but my fraternity brother Neil, you know, the one who loaned us his parents' apartment for 2 weeks? Well, his cousin Lisa came into town, and I owed him for the apartment thing, so I took her to the formal as a favor.
So it's worse than I thought. I figured you went stag because you didn't want to be seen with me, but you actually took another girl.
Okay, that's not what you said when I imagined this conversation.
Well, maybe you should date your imaginary friend then, because she sounds much more understanding.
Look, it was hand on a stack of Bibles, a favor to Neil, and that's it. Nothing else. Did I mention that she was straight out of Deliverance? A big forehead, buck teeth. I heard banjo music when she was walking up. I mean, it was frightening.
Yeah, Nate, that's gonna make me feel a lot better, making fun of some poor girl for the way she looks.
Okay, I'm digging myself in deeper here, aren't I? Can we start this conversation over again? Hi, Courtney. I'm sorry I was a total ass the other night, even though it was way beyond my control, but I want to make it up to you anyway. So... no problem, I can open it for you. I know it's like negative 10 carats, but it's all I could afford on work study.
It's beautiful.
Really, I'm really, really sorry. If there's anything I can do to make it up to you, I will totally...
You couldn't drive me to school, now you made me miss my bus.
The response was stunned disbelief. Of course, the European nations were applauding Franzen, taking the expected pleasure in watching the mighty fall. And Americans were up in arms, self-righteous and deeply resentful. As for Bobby, well, Bobby had no choice in the matter. He telephoned the Prime Minister and demanded Adler's immediate release. But the little guy just wouldn't quit.
But Jack...
What part of drop dead confuses you?
But I didn't actually do anything.
Bobby, you're in 8th grade, and these are the sophomore lockers. And now that I'm not protecting you, you'd best run off before someone stuffs you into one of them.
Can't stay mad forever.
Watch me.
Hey.
Hey.
I know how annoying he can get.
Like a zit you can't pop.
You might consider giving him a break. I mean, Bobby was just being Bobby. In his own way, he had your back.
Yeah, kind of like you did. What happened to your finger? You went without me.
I tried to talk to him.
And?
It wasn't the talking type. I don't think he'll jump anybody ever again. He was gonna keep hurting people, man.
Marcus, I don't know how to... You okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Well, it's a long way from fairness, but the Ethics Committee has adjourned without finding. There will be no disciplinary action taken against either of you.
I don't understand. How could the Ethics Committee simply adjourn without issuing a decision? I mean, there's no rule for that. Can't we just...
no penalty then?
No. Nothing official. I guess the true cost of this incident will be measured only in the lowered opinion of your colleagues. Of course, that's nothing the university can legislate. As president, however, I am ordering you to terminate your professional relationship at PSU. Effective immediately, you'll no longer work together in any capacity at this institution. I'm on my way.
I'm sorry. In any capacity, does that mean regarding my thesis?
That means that Professor McCallister may no longer act as your advisor.
Come on, is that really necessary?
Peter, to reassign Tom to TA for another professor is one thing, but I don't think it's necessary.
Professor, what you think, to be honest, doesn't carry much weight with me anymore. Now, if you'll excuse me, this affair has already taken up enough of my time.
I I told you it'd be okay.
Okay, yeah. Well, I hardly think it's okay.
No sanctions. We won.
Oh, my God. If we didn't win, they dropped the case. I mean, yeah, we survived, but our names aren't cleared.
Did you not?
See, I don't think losing the respect of our colleagues really qualifies as winning.
That part will blow over.
What, the losing the respect of our colleagues for good part, or what?
You should be happy.
Happy? Why?
They could have fired us. They could have made it nearly impossible for us to keep having a relationship. None of that happened.
Right. You know, I gotta get home and see my boys.
Well, let's grab a drink first.
No. I really have to go.
Can I call you later?
Sure. That'd be great.
It was a cold dash of reality, I think. It wasn't enough that the Prime Minister release Adler. There was too much egg on our face already. We demanded a public apology. He would refuse only at the risk of a trade embargo with the United States and allies who valued a superpower a lot more than an insignificant Scandinavian neighbor.
Hey, Ted was just telling me one of the suspects in Jack's mugging got jumped last night.
Really?
Yeah, by a gang of teenagers about your age. Victim thought he recognized one of his attackers as somebody who'd shopped at the hardware supply last weekend. Someone who matched your description.
Ted, you know Marcus isn't the kind of kid that...
Oh, I know it can't be Marcus, because Marcus was working here until late, wasn't he?
Well, actually, Marcus was...
No, he was working here. Until late. Isn't that right, Marcus?
Marcus.
Yeah. Yeah, I was here.
Hey, Joe, this kid's really bad news. He's hurt a lot of people already.
Yeah. Marcus was working here.
Okay, till about 11:30?
Whatever you say, Ted.
All right. Well, I'll let you two talk. I've got everything I need. See you in church?
I'll see you Sunday.
We were just gonna talk to him.
Talk to him?
Okay, maybe scare him a little. All right, show him what it's like to be the one who's outnumbered. It just got out of hand.
You've done a terrible thing.
He was gonna get away with it.
So you get a mob together and you go after him?
We were trying to do what was right.
You beat a man. Now, please, tell me I raised you better than to believe that's right.
What if it had been you instead of Jack? All right, what if they came back again?
I'd rather they beat me half to death than this son of mine end up a criminal. I've never been more ashamed.
Professor?
Roger. Wait a second. You know, since we're going to remain colleagues, I want you to know that I will try my utmost to convince myself that your Kenneth Starr-like campaign against me was motivated by your sincere desire to protect our department.
How magnanimous of you, Grace.
No problem.
But as one of your colleagues, I think it only appropriate that I debunk any delusion you might have that the Ethics Committee took your side.
No, perhaps you didn't hear, Roger. No disciplinary action is being taken.
Because the committee was adjourned by President Benedict before they could find against you.
That isn't true. President Benedict would never...
President Benedict would sell his own mother to save his precious sports center. Or didn't it enter into your calculations that the TA you're currently boffing has the same name as the school's wealthiest benefactor? Tom Wexler Graham? Hell, Grace, the Ethics Committee was meeting in the Graham building. Or did that little irony escape your notice as well? You're gonna contest it, Grace? You're gonna demand that justice be served? All those years bashing the despicable privileged few? My heartfelt congratulations. You just joined their club.
You know, Roger, I knew what I was doing when I rejected you 15 years ago. You're still just a lonely, bitter, mediocre academic who nobody takes seriously, even within his own department.
Perhaps a few more will take me seriously now that I'm its chair. Or didn't you hear?
This is my fault, isn't it? Because you didn't report me to the administration.
Oh, if you ask me, bloody lawyers have run amok with everything nowadays. Policies for this, guidelines for that. Common sense seems to have gone the way of the dodo.
I'm so sorry, Merle.
Don't be. Chairing a department is not so glorious as it used to be. That weasel Hennessy has no concept of the tidal wave of paperwork and triplicate that awaits him. I, for one, shall enjoy watching him drown.
You'll be a disaster.
Don't look to me for an argument.
Yeah, and it'll be the students who pay the price. This is completely unjust, Merle. You have to fight this. I'll help you.
How, pray tell? By dragging our favorite philanthropist into it and threatening the school with financial ruin? Not sure how many times that card can be played, old gal. I really should finish packing these slides before they get lost in the move. Please, if you would, close the door behind you.
The incident ended the old man's career. I ended it. Henrik Franzen retired in disgrace, ridiculed by the better part of foreign nations, and all to protect President Adler, a man still being revered as one of this nation's greatest presidents, despite the thousands of young men and women who marched to their deaths on his watch. As for the courage of quiet men, men like Franzen who bravely choose the higher path, well, they do so at their own expense. And ultimately in obscurity.